Last year, I had the experience of a lifetime as I stayed on Ottawa/Blue Mine Island for a week. Now, Blue Mine is a predator-free island in the middle of the Marlborough Sound, so I don't even need to tell you that it was teeming with biodiversity. I came away from that experience with a new appreciation for nature and excitement for the future, but the thing is, as much as Kiwis try to sell their country as clean, green, biodiverse and beautiful, we all know that Blue Mine is only a small part in our intricate biodiversity map. I, like most other people, live in a city. In fact, the UN estimates that by the year 2050, 2/3 of us will be living in urban areas. Our cities currently account for around 3% of the Earth's surface, but are responsible for 75% of global resource consumption. This is because everything is currently connected to an economy which consumes nature. We extract from the environment, power the places we live, damaging ecosystems and our climate in the process. Ultimately, the needs of our resource consumption come first in the world we live in. At least, they did in the world we lived in a few months ago. Obviously, COVID-19 has had drastic and awful impacts. Many have died and many more are losing jobs. This has to be acknowledged. But at the same time, we have a massive, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to recover from this crisis in a way that is even better than before, because we are undoubtedly facing a global and national biodiversity crisis. Global biodiversity has declined by around 60% in the last 50 years. 4,000 of New Zealand's native species are at risk, 2/3 of our ecosystems are in collapse, and 12 out of 13 habitat types in New Zealand have reduced in size between 2012 and 2018. So what do we do about it? First, we realise the prominence and importance of biodiversity in our lives. We develop eco-literacy in our communities through schools, workplaces, and community projects. We develop and look after biodiverse spaces in our country. We realise the importance of these spaces on everyone's well-being, but at the same time, we understand the issues that we are facing. Because in order to make change, our team of 5 million should have a comprehensive understanding of our environment and connect to it, so that we can protect nature like it provides for us. As we recover economically from this crisis, not only will conservation jobs such as pest control be crucial, but all of us will need to show that we value nature. That way, as our government pumps billions into our economy to restart it, they will prioritise people, the planet, and our biodiversity. Nature should be given breathing room as we realise that every section of available land doesn't need to be used for farming or building. Conservation projects should continue to be funded and our industry should be able to transition justly to be more sustainable. It's estimated that between 3,300 and 14,400 seabirds die by fishing boats each year. This can and must change. Our tourism industry can also change, becoming more focused on giving domestic tourists meaningful experiences where they can contribute to and learn about biodiversity, rather than just trying to get as many people through a town as possible. Quality over quantity, if you will. Our farmers should also be supported to transition justly to regenerative farming, using diversity to enrich our soil instead of relying on fertilizers which pollute our soil and water, harming biodiversity further. As for us city dwellers, we can bring biodiversity in and around our homes because our country isn't and shouldn't be divided into reserves, farmland, and urban areas. Everything on Earth is connected after all. We can contribute to biodiversity by backyard trapping, planting natives, and leaving out sugar water. So, we are undoubtedly facing a biodiversity crisis. But it's almost like Papatūānuku wanted to give us a second chance. Our world has changed and it will continue to change, but it's now up to us what that change will look like.